What's up, super fans? It is Fit Nerd from Superheroes Ultimate. Was Captain Marvel a flop? Were we right to be concerned that this movie was gonna just suck, or is it great? Let's break it down. If you're new to this channel, then hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications button so you can stay updated in the here and now in the superhero world. And of course, super fans, if you want to be entered to win the Captain Marvel collectible from my private collection, then hit the subscribe button and comment below. This video does contain major spoilers, so if you have not seen the movie, pause it and go back to the last video where we did the unboxing for the Captain Marvel Marvel Legends Wave 1, where I discussed several theories of what I thought was going to happen within the movie. Now, of course, after 10 years, MCU has broken it down to a science in how to introduce new characters to the audience without knowing who they are or what they are. After seeing a single movie about these characters, now we know everything about them and no longer have to invest any more time on knowing about these characters and just go on with the new storylines. When we saw Infinity War, we no longer had to know about Thor or Hulk or Black Widow or Captain America or Iron Man because we had major spotlights on them in previous movies. The only one that's actually missing is Black Widow, but we're still going to get a solo movie on her and knowing more about her origin story. Now, one of the biggest questions currently is this movie needed in order to watch Avengers Endgame? And there's a complex answer to this. Hardcore Marvel fans are going to want to see this just simply for the fact that a lot of us have invested into 18 movies learning about the origins of other characters that are involved in Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. So if you are a completist at Marvel fandom, then yes, I do suggest it, because then you will know every single thing that you need to know about Captain Marvel's origin story. And yes, that is what this movie is a Captain Marvel origin story. We will know everything about Carol Danvers. When we do go and watch Avengers Endgame, we actually will appreciate more about the character. A lot like Ant-Man and the Wasp, it was a standalone movie that tied into events that happened in Infinity War. But if you do watch the end credit scenes of Ant-Man and the Wasp, it directly correlates to Avengers Infinity War. Speaking about origin stories, there are some major differences between the original origin story of Marvel and Captain Marvel and this movie. And one of the major twists is that they did a gender bender on Marvel. Marvel is no longer a dude, it's actually a woman. Marvel is actually played by Annette Carol Benning. Originally, when we checked on IMDb, she was only playing the Supreme Intelligence. But according to IMDb now, because Marvel loves to mislead their fans, one of the ways that they do it is that we consistently check on IMDb of who's playing who. One of the things that they changed up on us is Jude Law was actually on IMDb as Marvel. That wasn't the case. Now it's actually switched up. If you go back and look at it, Jude Law is Young Rod and Annette is actually Marvel / Supreme Intelligence. Within the movie, we never see the true appearance of the Supreme Intelligence. We just see something that the Supreme Intelligence used within the consciousness to make the person feel more comfortable and to speak to. Now, for us comic goers, we know that the Supreme Intelligence looks like a big blobby thing with tentacles. Quite possibly we will be seeing the actual form of the Supreme Intelligence in some sort of sequel of Captain Marvel when she goes against the Kree. There's been a lot of debate on the movie whether it's going too far on the feminist side of things, and my answer is kind of. They kind of overdo it as far as, I mean, they did a gender bender on Marvel, which actually wasn't too bad. What I feel about this movie is that it's trying to compete too much with Wonder Woman. They're trying to put it on a pedestal and trying to force us to want her as Marvel's version of Wonder Woman. Now, stop it. Stop it right there, okay? Wonder Woman came first in the comics, Wonder Woman came first on the TV shows, Wonder Woman came first as far as the movies also. So stop it. You can love Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman is always going to be the epitome of women power. And she is always going to be the lead. Now, can there be another one like Captain Marvel for the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Of course, she is still a powerhouse. She can be another icon for girls all around the world. One thing that I will state, I am glad that I took my daughter to watch this movie. Every daughter around the world should watch this movie because the empowerment and the message behind failing and falling and never giving up and always just getting up no matter how many times you fall. This movie is on the money as far as what it's trying to state for little girls all around the world. Every parent around needs to go take their girl and watch this and motivate them, because it is definitely up there with the girl empowerment movement. Brie Larson's performance as Captain Marvel, I would just suggest it was okay. She did her part. I believe that Marvel tried to force too much as putting her in the lead, trying to make her seem like another Tony Stark in the MCU. That simply just won't work. If anything, I would love to see Shuri take the part of Ironheart in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the comics, we have the protege of Tony Stark, Riri, which is taking up the mantle of the Iron Man suit and becoming Ironheart. This would be insanely cool because I see no one else in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to take over that role other than Shuri. Shuri is the only one that compares to Tony Stark's intellect and ability to actually be the next one in line as the next Iron Man, as Ironheart. Although Captain Marvel's role in the MCU is going to be up there, of course, but I don't see her as being the lead of all of the Avengers. As far as some of my favorite characters within the movie that I very much enjoyed watching on screen was, of course, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, and seeing him really cut loose as a younger version of Nick Fury with 2 eyeballs. And yes, we do find out what happens to his eye in this movie. We see it happen. Another reason why you should actually go watch this movie. Although Coulson wasn't a major character within this movie, it definitely put him in just enough. It was brand new to S.H.I.E.L.D. and we were able to see the connection between Nick Fury and Coulson. Talos, played by Ben Mendelsohn, did an amazing job as one of the Skrull. Another plus for the MCU for this movie, and how they misled us, and the Skrull actually end up not being the bad guys of this movie. In fact, they were the ones that needed most of the help from Captain Marvel. Talos' performance and his chemistry with Nick Fury was absolutely awesome to watch on screen and quite a delight. I will say, as far as the real villains, which is actually Young Rog and the Kree themselves, it was kind of poorly done. Young Rog didn't really appear on screen that much, and the fight scene between Captain Marvel and Young Rog wasn't all that impressive. In fact, Star Force, which we saw in the trailer, which we all figured was going to be a bigger part within the movie, they weren't even really seen. They were seen at the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie, and it was only a minor role. In fact, it was almost like a cameo, and their roles were pretty much just insignificant. Besides my favorites of Nick Fury, Coulson, Talos, there is another favorite which I had, which was Goose. Goose the cat stole the spotlight every single chance he was on the screen, because you would focus on nothing else but Goose himself. Goose was awesome. Totally love how they explain what he actually is, which is not a normal cat. He's actually a vicious freaking alien that will eat absolutely anything. Now, the biggest reason to actually watch this movie, just like Ant-Man and the Wasp, was the end credit scenes. That is totally worth it prior to watching Avengers Endgame. Just the end credit scenes alone is worth watching this movie. Leave it to Marvel to keep us MCU fans happy by letting us know where the Avengers Initiative actually came from. The name Avengers was from a photo of Carol Danvers when she was a pilot, and it said Avenger on it. And it made Nick Fury change to the Avengers Project. This was a very nice touch, and it brings us full circle all the way back to the beginning, even prior to Iron Man, where in Iron Man 1, where Nick Fury comes in and talks to Tony Stark about the Avengers Initiative, placing the Captain Marvel all the way at the very beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. When it comes to the end credit scenes, we get our answers as invested Marvel fans. Get closure to certain questions that we had as far as the beeper, where it came from. Now we know that it came from Carol Danvers. She updated the pager and gave it to Nick Fury and told him to use it only under emergency circumstances. We also get answered the question of how S.H.I.E.L.D. had possession of the Tesseract. This is probably one of the best end credit scenes MCU has ever delivered to us. in connection to Infinity War, showing us the current Avengers that are left on Earth, Black Widow, Captain America, Bruce Banner, clearly looking at the devastation that has come across us from Thanos' snap, and they have possession of the pager that Nick Fury had when he called Captain Marvel, trying to find out who is at the other end of this pager and where the message is going to, or who the message is going to. When suddenly we see the pager just stop working and everybody's worried and trying to make it function, suddenly we see Captain Marvel appear in front of them asking for "Where's Fury?" That is one of the biggest awe moments setting us up for Avengers Endgame and her connection to it. Now she is one of the main players that is going to be involved in Endgame. So was this movie a spectacular win on the MCU? I will say it was okay to watch. It was visually appealing. I was entertained to watch it. I would actually love to see it again just because of Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury and Goose. And it gave us a lot of answers towards what happened to his eye, where the Tesseract came from, and how Carol Danvers actually got her ability. Did this movie hype me up even more for Endgame? Yes, it did, just because of the end credit scene alone. You should definitely stick around for the end credit scene because it's just worth watching Goose at the end and what he does with the Tesseract. Let's face it, it is just impossible for Marvel to actually give us a bad movie. This does not this is probably one of the lowest ones that I would rank it on the MCU, but it's still worth the watch. So what do you guys really think about this movie? Are you gonna go watch it? Did you watch it already? Did you enjoy it? Did you have its nitpick with it's going over the top with the feminism thing? Leave it in the comments below. Also, in the next video, we're gonna announce the winner for the Captain Marvel giveaway. Simply subscribe, comment, like, and turn on the notifications so you know when the next video is up, and we will announce the winner.
Hey superfans, unleash your inner superhero with these super compression shirts, tank tops, leggings, shorts, t-shirts, and even costumes. Link in the description below.
Till the next, this is FitNerd, over and out.
3, 2, 1, a